If there's one word that has caused more hate and controversy on this channel than any other, it's this one. So let's dive into it a bit. It's a super helpful word for actors to know. Shakespeare uses it often, but I noticed that a lot of American actors in particular have a lot of trouble with this word. They don't know how to use it, they don't know what it means, and they don't know how to pronounce it. First, what does this word mean? If you're speaking to someone of a higher social class than you, or someone you respect, you would call them sir. But if you're speaking down to someone, a social inferior, or someone you disrespect, you would call them by this word. So it's usually said with a tone of disdain or condescension, which, as you can imagine, is pretty important for an actor to know because it clues you into status and relationship. Now, like I said, this word gets mispronounced often. A lot of actors tend to put the emphasis on the second syllable. They say SIRRAH, but Shakespeare's verse itself tells us that the emphasis falls on the first syllable. The standard American pronunciation of this word is SIRRAH. Now, I know that a lot of you don't believe me, so I'm going to back this up. This is dictionary.com,
SIRRAH,
Merriam-Webster,
SIRRAH,
and this is the Oxford English Dictionary.
SIRRAH.
Now, you may notice there's also a British pronunciation with a slightly different vowel sound.
SIRRAH.
So why the difference? Well, because we have different accents. I wouldn't say SIRRAH in the same way that I wouldn't say mirror. I say mirror. Brits aren't the only ones who perform Shakespeare, and if studying Shakespeare's original pronunciation teaches us anything, it's that there is room for every accent in performing Shakespeare. We'll get more into Shakespeare's original pronunciation in other videos, but if you're interested how this word might have sounded in Shakespeare's day, it probably sounded something like this.
SIRRAH.
I made a video on this word months ago when I first started posting, and at that time I had less than 1,000 followers, most of them American, so I only covered the American pronunciation of this word. Now I have something like 60,000 followers across platforms, with followers from all over the world, which is absolutely incredible. So now I try to be more aware of international differences. So there you have it. How you pronounce this word is going to vary a little depending on your accent, but the important thing is that you put the emphasis on the first syllable, because if you put it on the wrong syllable, it interrupts Shakespeare's verse. I am not the pronunciation police, but I do believe that knowledge is power, and that if you are an actor, you should know what you're saying.